A guy who failed as a musician named Dave has a brutal breakup with his girlfriend and is forced to live with his sister. He ends up watching his nephew Felix play modded Left 4 Dead. Nice! -1 sin. However, looking at this, there's a whole lot wrong. First, it is modded Left 4 Dead 2, judging by Daryl, Merle, and Claire being over there. Yet, this kid is playing on console? Second, why does he have a VR headset on if this isn't the VR mod for Left 4 Dead 2? Something that did not exist until 3 years after this movie came out. And third, right here it says Survival Horror Network Protected Coach. I looked it up and this movie used the channel Survival Horror Network's long play footage of Left 4 Dead 2. If you're gonna have a movie backed by Universal, can you at least just have the kid playing the game instead of doing what every movie does and have actors pretending with controllers, peripherals, and gameplay footage that they didn't record that does not make sense? I take back my previous sin and add 1 sin. The mom turns off Left 4 Dead 2 saying it's too violent for a 5-year-old. Hey, I know plenty of kids who played Left 4 Dead 2 and they turned out fine. You know what? Never mind. Not a sin or anything, I just wanted to bring that up. But Dave does and says a bunch of messed up stuff in front of Felix and takes him to kindergarten class where he becomes infatuated with the teacher, Miss Caroline, and bonks a kid.
I love kids.
He ends up chaperoning to sub for a sick parent during a field trip to a farm. I don't know how he was able to get wedged into this chaperoning thing, considering he literally kidnapped Felix the night prior to have him see 2 adults banging accidentally while constantly dissing his mom's parenting. But okay. I guess we can have him panic and not know what to do with an EpiPen later on when Felix's many allergies
I'm allergic to fish, dairy, eggs, sesame nuts, and gluten.
Kick in when the zombie outbreak happens. Can't have a kid in a zombie outbreak unless they have deathly allergies, right? The bus breaks down, so Miss Caroline plays a ukulele cover of Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. This will come back later as a recurring song. I know.
I think we've all had enough of Taylor Swift right now, guys.
Dave plays his own death metal song, and it drags on. I love metal, but good God, this just goes on. Mind you, we are 20 minutes in now, and it's just been lol, adults said adult things to children. There has not been any sign of zombies. Where is my zombies, bro? The movie is called Little Monsters. All I have seen is a massive bellend. Speak of the devil, or zombie. The aptly named U.S. Army testing facility is right next to the farm. You couldn't come up with any other names? I guess the soldiers talking about how crazy it is to be in Australia is to make up for that. The 2 soldiers stumble on a zombie eating a corpse. They both know what it is apparently, saying one of them got free, and the guy still says,
Back away from the body with your hands on your head.
Before dumping multiple rounds into its torso before the woman clean shots it in the head. You know what the threat is. Why are you both attempting to detain it and then shooting parts of the body that will not affect it? The rest of the base radios in that the zombies have breached containment and are overrunning the facility. The guy stays back to just sit there in front of a threat he knows fully well of, not looking at it, and just lets himself get easily grabbed and bit. As the bus is drawing closer to the farm, they see a convoy of heavily armed soldiers roll by. Why are soldiers going to the facility? Wouldn't most of the US military presence here be on site? But it's a zombie movie where the characters are clueless as to what's going on, so we have to have them getting hints of impending doom by slapping in soldiers in the background. Josh Gad appears as a children's TV personality named Teddy. Last time I saw him, he was in the most boring zombie series I had ever seen called Woke Up Dead. How bad was it? It lasted less than a month on the streaming service Crackle back in 2009, and I refused to cover it because it was so lame. Again, not arbitrarily gonna add sins here just for the sake of me being a pissant. However, we do have him sing a song song like Barney for over a minute to show Dave is jealous. I came into the movie thinking it would be something like Cooties with the whole Little Monsters title, but it's more like a musical with how much time is getting eaten up, not by zombies. The front gate just miraculously opens for the zombie horde to leave the US Army facility. I didn't hear any guns going off though. This is the most inaccurate depiction of Americans I've ever seen. If we see a zombie, we would be shooting them bitches, even in other countries. The zombies are dumb enough that a chest-high fence can slow them down. Thankfully, the tourists here are dumb enough to think they are part of the attraction at this farm. In the middle of summer, nowhere near Halloween. The field trip gets halted by a zombie eating a sheep. I don't know why there's only one zombie here, since they all kinda do that thing where they all group together like zombies usually do. Apparently there's supposed to be a ton of sheep here, but I guess the prop department can only swing one dead sheep prop for the beginning. Or maybe the zombies ate and used every part of the other sheep. The tour guide gets bitten and zombified in less than 2 minutes. A quick acting virus, good stuff. But why, when she first turns into a zombie, does she not attack Miss Caroline?
Just call me Audrey.
Okay. Why doesn't she attack Audrey while she is preoccupied with pitchforking the soldier zombie? She just gets up in the background and walks away from all the noise. I do like the touch of her forking the zombie into a tree to pin him and then slapping a scarecrow hat on its face to mask its identity of being a rotting corpse to shield the reality of what's going on from the nearby children. -1 sin. Oh, here's where all the zombies went, just casually all in a nearby field eating beef and honeyed Sam. You'd think with the ruckus they all made with screaming kids and ukulele playing that all these zombies would have swooped over already. Dave stops the tractor upon seeing the buffet of bovine roadblock. He says he doesn't know how to explain what he is seeing. He plays zombie video games a lot apparently, so he has to know what zombies are. And it's not like he is trying to shield the children from this sight, since 3 minutes ago he was telling a fat kid he fucked his mom, and earlier in the movie he was letting his nephew play Left 4 Dead, which is apparently bad, but he doesn't think so. This is an interesting dynamic. To get the kids to avoid the undead without letting them know, Audrey tells them that they are playing tag and all the other people, the zombies, are it. Then she proceeds to say that they need to stay in line with each other to navigate the field. A decent way to make kids not go into a panic. -1 sin. They walk forward chanting out loud, "Conga, conga, conga." I mean, that's a lot of noise you're making. You probably should have said to play the quiet game as well to not attract attention your way. Oh, okay, and a ukulele, because kids need to be constantly sung to in order to get them to do anything. Yeah, let's just make more noise. This zombie ate a porcupine and got an overquill medal on his face. Overquill. Nice sight gag, -1 sin. They see the buses are overrun and head to a nearby gift shop. Josh Gad, the kid's entertainer, pops up.
We have kids out here!
Oh my God! I don't give a shit!
Okay, I take back what I said about Josh Gad. He redeemed himself because that's how a lot of people would act. -1 sin. The group finds a kiddie hole to crawl inside the building. Dave just sits there screaming with Josh Gad instead of fending off the dead that are slowly approaching, or even looking behind him if there's any zombies that might be close enough. Do you want bites? Because this is how you get bites. Thankfully, as Audrey is crawling in, Special Zed here grabs her fanny pack instead of her so she can get away. No other zombies got there faster than him, huh? And he's just walking away staring at the fanny pack. Lucky for them, the dozens of zombies now decide to start attacking. No zombie saw them crawl in the hole, and apparently neither did Dave, so he just thrusts himself further into the horde. He saw them crawl in the hole, but decides, oh, where'd they go? Let me just slag off over here, climb up a tin can, and risk my exposed ass to get eaten out. Oh, so we could just happen to have Dave break in through the roof and have Josh Gad beat him up with souvenirs and have Dave grab his balls. Yeah, I wasn't kidding. They fight and vomit and all this while zombies are just daintily bumping at the windows. You would think they could easily break through this glass, especially with all this ruckus riling them up. A tourist is running from the horde to go to a barn stall just to be jump scared by a dozen zombies. You didn't hear them all going, why not just run away from the farm? Nope, because we all know if a zombie outbreak happens, the only plausible thing to do is stay where all the walking zombies are. Dave knocks Josh Gad out and barricades the door. Probably should barricade the windows too and not just lean up against an exposed window that can break at any moment.
Can you tell us what the zombies do in the shooty game?
Well, if you make noise, they hear you. If they walk around and try to bite you, and the only way you can stop them is by shooting them in the face.
Wow, a kid knows the concrete rules better than the adults? I can't wait for all this to be ignored later on. Either way, -1 sin. I do have to say though, how did Felix learn these rules from playing Left 4 Dead 2? They are, for one, not zombies but infected, so a headshot is not required. They do not walk around because they run full sprint, and they don't bite you in the games. They just beat the living snot out of you. Audrey threatens to kill Josh Gad if he doesn't stop saying the F word around the kids and trying to force them to know zombies are real. She diffuses the situation with a guy that would be a definite liability. Can any of us do better? -1 sin. Dave feeds Felix a chip with dairy, sending him into anaphylactic shock. Dave has a syringe that can help him with that and stabs himself with it. Why not ask how to use it if it's this important? Either way, he puts himself in a situation where he has to go get another syringe from a backpack outside. Who would have thought this would have caused a "we need to get the thing we left with the zombies" type of situation when he brought up allergies? Well, never mind. Audrey has more balls and runs outside by herself. She easily dodges every zombie, making you wonder how everyone else was easily grabbed and or bitten. Instead of continuing to run, she grabs a shovel and shoves them down. You could have easily just did what you were doing earlier and just ran, but okay. I like the fact that we can see the test subject zombies with the chains on their hands and feet. A nice little bit of lore, but how zombies with even more limited mobility besides being rotting corpses overran a military base. She continues whacking them and they're just not dying. Honestly, this feels like Dead Island 2 gameplay at this point, where you just sit there whacking a zombie forever till its health bar goes down, even down to her knocking a zombie's head clean off in one swing. -1 sin. She proceeds to decapitate all of them afterwards. Good job, Queen. Makes you wonder how zombies that can easily be chopped and screwed by a kindergarten teacher were ever a large enough threat in the first place. They start singing "Shake It Off" to Felix to calm him down. What is the obsession with Tay-Tay this movie has? Audrey just goes full berserker and apparently kills an entire horde by herself off screen. Is everyone else clueless to what zombies are and how to kill them besides a kindergarten teacher and a 5-year-old? The sound of a military helicopter causes Josh Gad to rush to the roof to signal for escape, and then he just falls off like an idiot. I get you want to be rescued and you're lol, I'm so loud and funny, I was popular in the late 2000s, but really? You're gonna make a decision like that when there's zombies all around? Dave somehow is able to pull up his fat ass and save him before the zombies can reach him. Weren't the zombies literally right at the window just a few minutes ago? Wouldn't they already be dining in on some Gad? And why would Dave save him? The guy literally was willing to let you all die, tried to kill you, and was acting erratic as hell. He is unpredictable. There is no reason to save a guy like that. Josh Gad has a heart-to-heart saying he hates his career and persona, only finding pleasure in the moms he gets in bed with, but even then, he is still dead inside. I guess the closest thing we're going to get to meta commentary of the living being like the dead, except instead of the dead eating flesh, it's just Josh Gad eating...
on her pussy in a South Coast Plaza disabled toilet.
The guy said he basically wants to blow his own brains out and is near hysterical and is super selfish. The dude could make rash decisions that dooms everyone, push his ass into the horde and let his carcass be a distraction while y'all get away. That night, the US Army says that all infected are grouped up at the souvenir store and that they need to bomb it. Have y'all tried using guns? You know, showing the zombies how freedom is distributed?
Zombies again.
Well, fast ones or slow ones, sir?
Slow.
So the military knows fully well what they are, and even the types of zombies that can either walk or run, and that they have the kind that are slow and dumb. Yet they still sit outside the perimeter doing nothing like there's some cops outside of school. Their orders are to shoot anything that moves and are thanking God that the zombies are slow, yet still do nothing. What is stopping y'all from just popping the few hundred zombies that are scattered about? There is no tension here, but plenty of stupidity all around. The children's parents are all stuck outside the quarantine zone while the kids conk out, and Dave has a heart-to-heart with Audrey. Dave says he has daddy issues, and Audrey says she works with kids because of a newfound love for the career after she got injured in Australia stalking Taylor Hanson. Decent character building, I guess, so -1 sin. Soldiers are closing in on the farm armed with rifles. Oh good, they're finally gonna use the... Nope. Still gonna bomb a store. Josh Gad suggests they use his car, the McGigglemobile, to escape since the rooftop has a flap opening that the kids can jump into safely instead of rushing on ground level. Smart. -1 sin. I would say I've counted it and there's a little over 200 zombies scattered about here, apparently being the entirety of the outbreak. This could easily be taken care of and nipped in the bud with one good chopping spree. Dave distracts the horde with loud noises while Gad goes down to get the car. Even this fat bastard can evade the dead, and he literally has fallen off a roof twice in front of them and slowly gotten up. How did everyone else get infected? Dave gets down to the ground and is surprise attacked by a test subject zombie that was hiding behind a tin barrel. These zombies can apparently ambush people, really proving that Zombieland 2 ninja trope correct, and this was released in the same year. Josh Gad just sits at a playground whacking kid zombies with playground equipment, and it's working, and no other adult zombies converge on him. This zombie outbreak is literally child's play. Lucky for Dave, while he flails around on the ground with the guinea pig zombie, that no other zombies come up on him. Zombies respect the 1v1s. Josh Gad is going down slides and yelling how he fucked all the kids' moms because, you know, that's funny. Dude, you just went on a rant about how you want to survive. Why are you risking it all with some kids? Not only that, but he does probably the dumbest dipshit thing I have ever seen in zombie media. After playing with kid zombies, he picks one of them up and proceeds to...
How do you like it, huh? Oh God, what have I done?
Bite it. Are you kidding me? He got all that blood in his mouth. Why? He immediately realized how zombies are infectious and forces himself to vomit to try to stop the infection. Great savings Jonah Hill here is written so stupid, I cannot stand it. Josh Gad gets to the car and all the zombies are far away. Do you really need a car to get away if it's this simple? Washbad gets in, locks the door, and flips off Dave when he tries to get in. Who could have seen that coming? Josh Gad is immediately attacked by his puppeteer from before, who was sitting silently zombified in the back of the car the entire time. Ah, zombies, the well-known silent killer. The puppeteer proceeds to grab him and, well, tried to help me understand this scene. But the right hand that grabs him keeps him choked and pinned down. And then another right hand pops up to disembowel him instantly. How is this possible? How did the zombie make this happen? There's only one zombie making grunts, so it's not like there's another zombie in there. The zombies are apparently strong enough to hastily rip a fat guy's stomach open and then rip his face apart while wearing a sock puppet over his fingers. Yet the zombies can't break a flimsy gift shop's windows? Dave gets on the roof of the car, and before he crawls in, the horde closes in on him while the puppet pokes out of the roof. He then takes a call from his sister and then just ignores all the dead that are trying to eat him all around him so he can have a heart-to-heart with his sister. Aww. But you might want to do that later, or when a freaking frog puppet that you saw that can tear you apart isn't just a few inches away from you. Audrey has to deal with this chubby asshole of a kid screaming about wanting to play putt-putt. He has asked over and over and over all throughout the movie if they're going to play putt-putt. Then he has all this screaming going on, and it's causing the zombies to go crazy outside. I would drop kick that little demon in a second. Career be damned, I'm trying to survive and not go crazy, not deal with this screaming kid. Felix ditches them and runs out into the zombie horde dressed as Darth Vader. Where did he get that entire costume? Yes, he wore it earlier, but it was not on his person during the field trip. It was at home. Either way, again, this movie loves showing you how stupid its zombie setting is if a kid can cosplay an edgy guy with breathing problems in the middle of a horde and get out unscathed. He stops and stands in front of a worker zombie and just twiddles a golf club at it. It just saunters slowly towards him. I hate to say it, but I'm so mentally screwed up that it would be hilarious if this kid just suddenly got caught and eaten while he was out by himself. A goddamn baby goat has survived this long, but hundreds of people didn't? It's a baby goat! How is it not eaten? Felix uses the force to shut the gate so the zombies can't reach him. Felix was able to turn on the tractor and drive it to Dave. They proceed to ram it through the gift shop wall, pick up all the kids, and drive out with no people getting hurt, bit, scratched, or anything. A slow-moving tractor is enough to get away with the 5-year-old helming the escape. The annoying fat kid bonks zombies on the head with a putter. None of the zombies even attempt to grab him, and the adults just willingly let him. A zombie could grab the putter and yoink the kid down. Aren't you scared he would get eaten? You know what? Honestly, I would prefer that. Audrey gets her bag back in a drive-by from Special Zed, casually and with no issue. Audrey starts singing Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round. Again, why are you attracting zombies your way? Shouldn't you be acting like you're in A Quiet Place Day One? The zombies moan and clap in rhythm with the nursery rhymes, apparently showing that they have some semblance of humanity, that they enjoy music. But this was never shown until now. If only this was displayed earlier and not the last 10 minutes of the movie. It showed frequently that music affects the zombies, but that was never a part of the narrative until now. The military sees them slowly approaching with a horde in tow, saying they are about to obliterate them. Can't help but compare this to the ending of Train to Busan that came out a year prior, where the pregnant mom and Suan are walking towards the military while she sings Aloha Lo, as the military debates if they should shoot them. Same thing in this movie, but with an entire class singing songs blissfully, causing the military in both scenarios to lower their weapons, realizing that the kids are alright. However, Train to Busan had impact, as the song Suan was singing was one she wanted to sing to her dead father as a source of comfort. While this is just, lol, kids singing with zombies nearby. The zombies like music. Who would have thought? The sergeant says, "I can't shoot kids again," and then lets him through. This isn't about containing a pandemic or thinking of the children.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
It's about y'all being inept and not shooting zombies. Y'all had over 24 hours to shoot, but wait till you hear wheels on the bus to decide, okay boys, now it's time to shoot some zombies. Hell yeah, roll tide, brother. We get a decent joke where Dave says zombies are peaceful if you just sing to them, right before the army lights them all up into Swiss cheese. Took them this long, but finally we get to see some firepower. -1 sin. They blow up the gift shop despite the entire horde being shot to pieces in front of them. There is no zombies to blow up. Hazmat teams seize everyone and send them off. A good precaution given it's a zombie virus and carriers can exist. -1 sin. The parents are all waiting to get their kids. The soldiers say they are quarantining them for 48 hours, not telling them about the zombies, and that their teachers saved their lives. Then the movie closes out with all of them singing "Shake It Off." Yeah, oh boy. And it goes on for a while. And then that's it. Honestly, this movie just went nowhere. It was just boring and barely utilized its zombies. It made them such a non-threat that it made it infeasible to even consider it as kind of a horror. Every single character besides Felix the 5-year-old and Miss Caroline were capable of critical thinking and understanding that the slow-moving zombies aren't that big of a threat. And that included an entire military and Josh Gad. Speaking of Josh Gad, he made this all way worse. I could not stand him at all. The movie felt like it was trying to be both an overly crude romp, like something like Superbad back in the day, with constant cussing and innuendos, but also a kid-friendly horror movie. So trying to fulfill both of these roles just makes it fall flat on its face. There's just nothing there. The zombies were dumb, underutilized, and total shite. The survivors were all dumb, overutilized, and mostly shite. Worst of all, the movie is called Little Monsters, yet there was only one scene with kid zombies and nothing to accentuate that name. It's called Little Monsters, but most of the monsters aren't little. Overall, this was lame as hell.
Wow. In my mind, think it's gonna be alright.
I hope those little monsters won't get me in the night.
He said it!